Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome, everybody. It's Friday. You made it. You made it to the end of the week. I feel like I was living in two different universes throughout this week because half my week I was still, dropping baby bird off in Massachusetts. So that's like a whole different world. And then coming back and just diving right into our work here with Naturally Inspired. And it's got me just so busy. But so grateful as well that I get to connect with you on a daily basis. You teach me something new every day, and I've got a whole bunch of new kind of cases that I'm diving into, and I'm really excited to get answers, to connect you to answers. So thank you so much for connecting to the Naturally Inspired community. It's drizzly here today. Yuck. I woke up this morning and it was cloudy, drizzly, a little cold, and somebody around here, probably Mateo, somebody around here left all the windows open last night, which is fine. Like, we leave our windows open quite a bit. Of course, we have heavy security, so don't get any funny ideas. But you definitely don't want to come around here unwelcomed. I'll just say that. Anyway, we slept with the windows open, and it kicked the furnace on, you guys. It kicked the furnace on this morning because it was so chilly outside. You know me. I'm such a summer girl that I love fall too, but I gotta let myself enjoy fall because my brain goes straight to winter. And I'll tell you, I know I live in Colorado, but no, I'm so over winter. I'm so over it. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy fall and try to live in the moment as, I got to take my own advice here and try to stay in the moment. I got a great show for you today. Wowsy. Like, it's really amping up out there in the health world, right? Bill Gates was at the White House. So, that's pretty interesting. I've got some things I want to share with you about that. There's an exploding story on Tylenol that we're going to talk about. This is something I've known about for quite a long time, but it's new information to most people. So I'm going to explain that a little bit, what's going on with Tylenol, how the link is, how people are. Let me say, I have to be careful with this topic, right? Because I don't want to get taken down anywhere. Like, I'm not taken down most places anyway, but it's going to amp up. I feel like maybe, it's going to, even the censorship might amp up a little bit more as we get closer to this deadline, middle of September. You know what I'm talking about? So anyway, we're going to talk about Tylenol. That's what I'll say. And then there's damage control going on. And I have to tell you, I just think it's so funny because they've rolled out this new person, Celine Gounder, I believe her last name. She's the editor at large for KFF Health News, but also served in the Biden administration. This is the second time I think she's been on mainstream news recently. Anyway, I feel kind of sorry for her because at this point, defending medical interventions and defending all this crap, gosh, you're just embarrassing yourself, right? Like, can we agree on that? You're really embarrassing yourself if you're still telling people to go get COVID shots. Like, enjoy your 15 minutes. That's what I would say, because most people are on to you. So anyway, we're going to cover that. And then there's a dairy story. And I am so glad to see this coming out because dairy has been demonized far too long, and it's a great protein for you. If you can't tolerate dairy, there's something else going on. And that has been my theory the whole time. It's just so exciting for me because all my theories are coming true. They were never really theories, I guess, because they were all based in things that I had learned, science that I had read. But it's just really exciting to see it come out into the open air. I guess you could say, where more people are acknowledging it, even though I knew this like 10 years ago or even more. I'm not going to let that bother me. I'm just excited that the information is getting out now. So, of course, we have a health topic for you, and it's a good one today because we're talking about inflammation in the body, but specifically with the gut, because I know we talk a lot about, repopulating your gut, which is a great thing, but also we have to, diminish the inflammation and make sure that we're healing the gut too. So we're going to be talking about that. And then, of course, we have a naturally inspired moment, which you're going to love because there's a lot of this going on in the world. Narcissism. So we're going to be talking about 5 ways to detect you're dealing with a narcissist. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. But let's get going on Bill Gates. Ugh. Can you just I don't know why this guy reminds me of a version of Kermit the Frog and somebody else I know, kind of like mixed together. And so every time I hear him talk or whatever, I'm just like, oh. But I learned a very valuable lesson from this. And I'm going to tell you what I learned. And I continue to learn because it's really important that you control your emotions, as I have learned the hard way many times over the years. Anyway, watch this clip. This is Bill Gates at the White House with Trump and Melania. Here it is.
Well, I'm in the second phase of my career, giving away all the wonderful money that Satya's good work has helped multiply a lot. But I think the thing that ties my first career that I still spend some time on because AI is so phenomenal, and my second career is innovation, innovating in health in areas like vaccines or gene editing, and the president and I are talking about taking American innovation to the next level to cure and even eradicate some of these diseases. He mentioned polio, which is one that we're close. We don't need new science on that one. For some like HIV and sickle cell, we do need new science, but the U.S. Has the seeds that in the same way that Warp Speed took those seeds and put them together, I think something fantastic can be done. AI for our foundation is that we want a doctor for everyone in Africa through AI. We want farmers to have incredible advice and, kids to have a chance to learn. So the work being done by the people at this table is changing the world. It's, coming fast. So it's great. We all get together and talk about how the U.S. can lead in this key area and apply it even to the poorest outside the U.S. as well as to our great citizens. So thank you for incredible leadership.
Oh gosh, it's hard for me to listen to that guy. And when I watch this, I'm watching Trump because I love to study body language, and I've been really diving into that lately, even more so. And I love to study NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, because I think it's really important to be able to understand how people use vocabulary to persuade. And I want everybody to learn it, because when you learn it, you can't unsee it. You can't unhear it. And then you start to learn how people use the art of persuasion, how they use vocabulary to lead your thinking pattern down a certain way. So, I'll watch these clips many times over just to kind of pick up on things. And first of all, I love Melania's face. I mean, yes, she's beautiful, but also she's got such a good poker face. But I can see a few things here. I can see her eyes kind of go down. I can see, a lot of different body cues here. And also Trump. I feel like I've studied Trump long enough to know that, when he thinks somebody's kind of full of shiz, he does this kind of head nodding thing. But I feel like he's a master at negotiations. And given what's rolling out right now, I think I'm less worried. I'm less worried that this administration is going to completely sell us down the river. That doesn't mean that we're going to get exactly what we want. I'm not living in delusion here, okay? It doesn't mean we're going to get exactly what we want. I say it over and over again, and I really hope you hear me with this, because these are negotiations. Our country is run like a corporation. And we have to understand it's a back and forth and where we are in the process of negotiating. Let's talk more about that when we come back. It is Friday, and I'm so glad you're here. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. See you in a minute.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
I want to let you know that you can find us. You can find us on all of the platforms that are available. So Rumble, YouTube, BitChute, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. Of course, we're on X. Follow us on all of the different social media accounts. Give us a like, follow our channels, leave us a comment. That helps us connect to more people so you can catch us everywhere. We are everywhere you are, believe it or not. It's just that sometimes we get a little censored. So we could use your help, just helping us get the word out there. changing lives here at Naturally Inspired. I tell you, we are changing lives, meeting with people all the time and getting them on the path to their optimum health. So if you think somebody could benefit from this message, please share the show with them. That's the best way we know how to grow this movement, is by your referral. So we're so grateful for you doing that. Okay, so let's get back to Bill Gates and Trump. So I was reminded of this, like Trump and Melania are sitting there. You tell me Trump doesn't know what the things that Bill Gates has said about him in the past. Like, of course he knows. I had to remind myself of the famous, the Godfather quote, never hate your enemies, it affects your judgment. Never hate your enemies, it affects your judgments. That's from the Godfather. And it's so true, right? If you really let your emotions get built up against, enemies or anybody, really, you lose a little bit of control. You lose a little bit of being able to navigate the situation. And I think Trump's an expert at that. I mean, you would have to be with that kind of, hate, honestly. That kind of hate being targeted at you for that many years, you got to be an expert at managing your emotions. Otherwise, you'd crack, right? He would have cracked a long time ago. But I just want to remind you, just like a little bit of something that, this is just like the least of it, really. But I find it intriguing because here's Bill Gates. He's forced to play ball. And Bill Gates is still one of the richest people in the world. He's so heavily invested in the things like the WHO. And that's why I'm telling you all the time, like, this is a business. There is liability issues at play here. There are contractual obligations, and it is so intermingled and wound up. You can't walk in there, kick down the door, and just do something. You'll go to jail, possibly, or worse, right? Or worse. You know what I'm talking about. So you got to play this game very meticulously. And I think, I don't know, I think Trump's really good at it. Do I agree with everything he's done? No, I don't. But I think he's really good at playing this game, whether we like what he's doing or not. I think he's really good at it. And I don't think Bill Gates is nearly as good. And the reason why is because I've seen Bill Gates wear his emotions in his physicality. Here's one of those times. So check this out. This is Bill Gates talking about Trump many years ago and talking about Bobby Kennedy. Here it is.
Before he was elected, there was a thing during the election where he and I were at the same place and I avoided him. Anyway, then he got elected, and so I went to see him in December. He asked me if vaccines weren't a bad thing, because he was considering a commission to look into ill effects of vaccines. And somebody, his name is Robert Kennedy Jr., was advising him that vaccines were causing bad things. And I said, no, that's a dead end. That would be a bad thing. Don't do that.
That'd be a bad thing. Don't do that. So lots of things going on here, right? The closed arms. Bill Gates is very uncomfortable in his own skin. This is not the first one where I've seen him rocking, right? Rocking back and forth. It just shows a lot of signs of concealment. And it's interesting because I want to go too far down this rabbit hole, but I have been down this rabbit hole. So I want to share with you like the origins of Bill Gates and people like family bloodlines like this. They're different than you or I. They're not. And I think that's why a lot of people are like, what are you talking about? That's crazy. Like, you're a conspiracy theorist or whatever, because they weren't raised in an environment like that. Neither was I. And when I first started learning a lot of this stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, Jay, stop. Like, I can't take it, because most of the stuff, he's exposed me to. But I really couldn't, I didn't want to believe it, because we're normal people and we're not inherently evil. And we don't have this culture around us where people are okay doing bad things. And I want to say that if you get into Bill Gates's history, particularly his father, it starts to make a lot more sense. Eugenics was a big thing for these types of families. And when I say eugenics, I mean eugenics is still present today. It's never gone away. The whole idea of gene therapy, gene manipulation, that's eugenics. The whole idea of maid medical assistance in dying is eugenics. Like they're just reframing it, but it's all based on the same idea that there is flawed life on the planet and that we need to eliminate it. I mean, when you put it like that, yikes, right? It's disgusting. It's disgusting because, of course, all life has value. All life has value. And so you start to really understand, why Bill Gates has gotten into the field that he's in, and him explaining I'm in the second part of my career now. I'm giving all the money away. Oh gosh, please. They call this philanthropic capitalism. Well, we've heard from Bill Gates many times that this being in the vaccine business has been one of the most profitable things he's ever done. It's been he says it. I believe it was on an NBC episode that he was on. He's a sweetheart. First of all, these shows that these guys go on, it makes you wonder because, even when I was a kid, you would have never seen the president of the United States on like the Tonight Show. You would have never have seen these kind of business people on entertainment shows. That right there shows you the blur they're trying to create, right? Between entertainment and reality. They've really blurred that line. And I think there's consequences to that, right? They're catering to the audience because that's where audience, most mainstream, they're catering to people who just like to get their information by flipping on the TV, which makes you very, very vulnerable. Makes you very vulnerable, right? Because we now know, you cannot trust that. Obviously, you know that, but there are many people that still do, and so that's why we see people like Bill Gates showing up. That's why we see, politicians like Gavin Newsom and stuff showing up on network TV. Who cares? Those shows used to be reserved for the arts and for comedians and for, actors and whatnot. And now they're not That's a change in the last couple decades. I would say probably 30 years ago, it wasn't happening. So, here's what it's interesting though. He is forced to play ball right now. He would not be at the White House if he didn't have to be at the White House. And the reason why he has to be at the White House is because his whole business plan is at risk. Because Bill Gates, I've said this a million times, he has followed the Rockefeller model of business. And that is when you work through government to regulate your products into the marketplace. The Rockefellers did the exact same thing. They did the exact same thing, right? With petrochemicals, with a lot of things, with paper. The paper was also regulated by making hemp illegal, right? So they weaponize legislation to maximize their profits and buy their way into the marketplace. And the dangerous thing about Bill Gates is that he doesn't just want his product, mandated or regulated into the marketplace. He wants to eliminate all competition. And that's how we got here today. The Rockefellers used the Flexner report to eliminate homeopathy, pretty much eliminate it, right? They deemed anything outside the gold standard of medicine, which became pharmaceuticals, as pseudoscience, as quackery, right? Using quackery as a way to dismiss any other form of a health solution. And we still use that term today. It's very powerful stuff, but once you start understanding propaganda, it all makes sense. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert-Garcia.
Are achy joints holding you back? Are you tired of stiffness slowing you down? It's time to restore with Joint Restore Gummies from Prosper CBD. These delicious strawberry-flavored gummies aren't just tasty, they're designed to soothe joint discomfort, promote flexibility, and help you move freely again. No more messy creams or bitter pills. Just one gummy a day to get you back to doing what you love. Best of all, no prescription needed.
My husband was headed towards knee surgery, and I was having hip pain. A friend recommended these. We tried them, and they worked great. We noticed a difference right away.
Right now, Prosper Wellness is offering a special deal, so don't wait. Go to jointrestore1.com. That's jointrestore1.com. Grab your Joint Restore gummies today. Be sure to use the promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, for 20% off your order.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Gresca's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Gresca C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Gresca C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code TAMMY at checkout for a special discount.
Wanted to share with you, I didn't expect people to comment on my skin, but since starting the cellular reset, I've been asked if I changed my skincare routine. It's the inside out effect for me. That's from Jeannie in New Mexico. And truly, that is where beauty comes from, right? That's how, people say, oh, I want to age gracefully. Yeah, take care of your health overall, right? Make sure you're targeting that inflammation, which we'll talk more about in today's health topic. But that's the kind of text that I get on my text line, and that's what I hear from people who are using the cellular reset. So order yours today at naturallyinspiredstore.com. You just click on the cellular reset, get yours ordered. The benefits of being a customer of Naturally Inspired are crazy. I can only think that if you're not doing it, maybe you don't understand it. That's the only thing I can think of, because it is such a phenomenal offer. When you become a customer, you get priority access to me on my health text line. You get the weekly wellness workshops every Tuesday night at 7:00, where we talk about very important health issues and help you solve those issues by connecting you to real information. You get a welcome gift from me. That alone, I mean, they're pretty cool welcome gifts. Sometimes we give away Good Brew. Sometimes it's vitamin D. Sometimes it's Rest and Rewind. I mean, we have all these things that we love to send to you to welcome you to the community. Not only that, but you get 15% off after you make your first purchase of $50. You get 15% off an entire non-toxic, clinically proven and trialed product line. Makes it easy for you to shop. Takes the guesswork out of it all. So you get that. There's so many benefits to it. You get priority access to all of Naturally Inspired events. You get, free shipping on $150 or more. You get, right now we have a free product. When you spend $175, you get a totally free product with your purchase. So there's so many benefits. Sometimes I forget how many benefits there are. If you have questions, you want to know more, go to naturallyinspiredstore.com. You can book a free 30-minute assessment with me. We'll go through your lifestyle stuff and we'll discover what may be keeping you from your optimum health. It is so worth it. I love doing it. I love bringing you those solutions. And so don't miss out. Book yours today, naturallyinspiredstore.com. Okay, back to Bill Gates. There's 3 things here I want to talk about that he mentioned. So hey, what do we need to be paying attention to? Bill Gates just told us. 1, a doctor for everyone. Of course, he brings in Africa, right? Because emotion. A doctor for everyone in Africa would be nice if every American had a doctor. Sorry. But everyone I talk to on a daily basis is like, I don't trust my doctor. It's like the number one thing people tell me. I don't want to go there. I don't trust them. A doctor for everybody in Africa is a sales funnel, you guys. It's an AI doctor, first of all, right? An AI doctor that plug and play. This, check this box. Oh, boink. Here's your protocol. Right? Here's your protocol. This is what you do. And no, take your protocol. If you don't take your protocol, what will be the consequences, I wonder? Right? This is terrifying, really, when you think about it, because it is a sales funnel for him. Go get your this vaccine. Go get your that vaccine. Oh, wait a minute. You haven't completed your little circle yet. You get a little virtual donut, a virtual cookie when you complete all your vaccinations. Oh, you haven't completed your child's vaccinations. Oh, well, no soup for you today. Terrifying, but this is his vision. A doctor for everybody. No, it's an AI agent that puts you under surveillance. That's what it is. Don't confuse it. Number 2, he wants incredible advice for farmers. Yeah, I think Vandana Shiva's book is the perfect book. If you want to understand what Bill Gates has done overseas, read Vandana Shiva's book. Okay? Because he destroyed India's farmer culture. They've never had such a high suicide rate in India of farmers because it's actually a spiritual existence. Farmers are in India. It's very spiritual, working the land, providing food for your people. Like there's a lot of integrity, a lot of service in it. And when their crops failed because they were forced to adapt Bill Gates's technology, and so their crops ended up failing, we can discuss whether, that was purposeful or not, probably. But unfortunately, a lot of Indian farmers took their own lives because they were so depressed and felt like failures. So Vandana Shiva's book, if you haven't read it and you want to understand Bill Gates' future for farming, that's the best book to read, in my opinion. So that's a real concern because he wants to co-opt our food supply, right? He'd rather make food in laboratories than allow nature to function in the way that it's supposed to function. Very alarming. Keep your hands out of our food supply, Bill Gates. And then the third thing he talks about is education for children. Well, of course, because anybody with a real vision for their passion, right? Their purpose in life, knows you got to get those children involved for legacy. And so, of course, he would want to be right in the middle of education because he wants to make sure that he can control education and understand what people are learning. Because what happens with misinformation? I mean, I think poor Bill, he sure has been a victim of misinformation, hasn't he? He'd like to stop all misinformation because they've tried really hard to rebrand Bill Gates, but it ain't working. You know, I don't think anybody trusts Bill Gates. So anyway, he did mention one thing too, which he's like, oh, the science is settled on polio. Is it? I don't think so. I would go read Dr. Bashar's take on polio, and it's linked to DDT. So I don't think the science is settled on anything anymore. I think we can agree on that, right? Like, I can't think of anything like that, I think everything is up for scrutiny. And that's what happens when you lie, right? And we now know, oh my gosh, the lies are, we're all up to our necks in lies. We don't know what to believe anymore. And so the best thing you can do is go to the sourced material and root around in that. And, that's the best way to do. Don't even take my word for anything, right? I'm often sending people, hey, look at this study, look at that study, look at this researcher, I trust them, this is their body of work. Like, I'm always citing people because science changes for sure. But I don't think anything is off the table. And certainly the science ain't settled on polio for me. No, it's not at all, actually. Not at all. But that's what gaslighters and narcissists do. They tell you something like, right? Like you just assume it's, oh, well, the science is settled on that. And of course, if you think the science isn't settled on that, well, then you're an idiot. That's a tactic. That's a tactic to assume and to, and Bill Gates does this a lot, where he likes to act like he's the smart guy, which he's not. I mean, if you really dig into Bill Gates's past, you'll realize that most of his innovation didn't actually come from him. And so it's not about him being some smarter guy than you. And I remember even having an exchange with someone at one point, I think on social media early in the days. Well, I think we can trust Bill Gates, right? Because he's like one of the smartest people and the richest people on the planet. Just because you're one of the richest people on the planet, certainly doesn't make you one of the smartest people on the planet. Now, maybe you're good at manipulation. Okay. But it doesn't qualify you for being intelligent just because you're rich. Has nothing to do with intellect, really. So that one doesn't fly with me. But a lot of these blanket statements you'll see from narcissists that just kind of cover everything like, oh, of course it is. Of course that's the way it is. What, are you dumb? No, people, that is not going to fly with us anymore. So I don't know exactly what's going on with Bill being at the White House, but I would suspect that he's being forced to play ball right now. And they are working like crazy to try to shut down Bobby Kennedy's work. And I know there's a lot of people out there that think, oh no, Bobby Kennedy's a bad guy too. He's a bad guy too. I don't know. All I know is what's transpiring right now, and what I saw from Bobby yesterday, I sure liked it. Stay tuned, everybody. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's Preferred Collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
If you've been thinking about becoming a customer of Naturally Inspired, maybe you've been on the website, you've seen a couple things, you're like, I'd like to try it, I think I want to try that, but you're not sure. I want to let you know that all members of the Naturally Inspired community, right now, they can get an inflammation relief gift bag packed with natural goodies just for you when you become a customer. So try the cellular reset today. You know, when you do, you'll get an inflammation relief gift bag. Everybody gets a welcome gift when they become a customer of Naturally Inspired as well. So just some added benefit for, you know, give it a try. Don't forget there's always 100% money back guarantee, lifetime guarantee. That's one of the reasons why I partnered with this company, is because they offer a lifetime guarantee. That means if you try something and it didn't work out for you, you just send the bottle back, the empty bottle back for a lifetime. Doesn't matter when. Isn't that crazy? Doesn't matter when. You can send it back anytime and you'll get a full refund. Crazy. Never heard of that before. And I love it that they offer that, because I know that they stand by what they do and all their products are wonderful. So go to naturallyinspiredstore.com today and try the cellular reset. Now it is time for the Naturally Inspired moment. Today we're talking about 5 ways to detect you're dealing with a narcissist. Why? Why am I bringing this up? As I talk about all the time here, our emotions drive a lot of our health. Our thoughts drive our health, but our thoughts trigger our emotions. And then our emotions inevitably impact our physical body. And that cannot be underestimated. We are synergistic beings, right? So the way we feel on a daily basis, it impacts our physical health. And one of the things that we have an epidemic of in this country is narcissism. And it is our culture, I believe, because of social media, because of this, we have our priorities out of whack. Last night I was on the Red Pill Project and Josh and I were talking about this, how out of whack priorities have become, where we put like money and, recognition and attention above health. And it, in our brain, like it doesn't make sense, right? Because you can't have money and recognition and fame or whatever when you're dead, right? It doesn't make any sense. But somehow our culture has really gotten twisted up and we feed these things, like we idolize money. I was just talking to my son this morning about this, about his age group. And he was telling me people his age have no problem asking him how much money he makes. What? How much money do you make doing that? Oh, well, do you make any money doing that? Excuse me? I'm like, wow, if somebody asked me that, I would be like, that is none of your business. He was like, oh yeah, they ask all the time. I'm like, wow, that's incredible. And it is because we idolize people who make money. You don't even have to be a good person. It's like, oh, they're doing horrific things on OnlyFans, but hey, they make a lot of money. No, hey, gross. So that's what's feeding this epidemic of narcissism. So 5 ways to detect you're dealing with a narcissist. So important to be able to spot it. So number 1, conversations always circle back to them. So no matter the topic, they have this uncanny ability to redirect the spotlight on them. So your wins, your struggles, or needs often get minimized or overshadowed by their own story. So say things like, well, you think that's bad. Look at what happened to me. And they'll completely hijack the conversation. That's narcissism. 2, they lack genuine empathy. So you notice a pattern of indifference or dismissiveness towards your feelings. Instead of comfort, they may offer criticism, judgment, or cold silence when you are vulnerable. So I want you to think about this too. It's something I learned the other day, is that, there's it's a growing population, but it's small population of people that are psychopaths. And, we wear a lot of our beliefs on our face, and a lot of our emotions right on our face. And especially as we get older, we start getting lines. That's a life well lived, when you have lines on your face. But there are certain lines that, reveal how you've spent a lot of time in your life. If you have, crow's feet, that could mean, that you spent a lot of your life laughing. Whereas if you have, a brow, lines in your brow right here, you may have spent a lot of your life frustrated or angry. But one of the things is if you have lines on your forehead, when you see my eyebrows, when you have lines like that, when you express your forehead right away, that means you're a social person. That means you're a social person and that you have empathy for other people. Because when someone tells you something, you lift your eyebrows like, oh, really? Well, what was that like? And if you have done that a lot over your life, then it shows up on your forehead that you're a social, empathetic person. And so you can look at that now when you meet someone. Like, oh, if their forehead is smooth and you don't see any lines, well, maybe they got Botox. But it could mean, too, that they're not very empathetic. Okay, so something to consider. Number 3, they manipulate through guilt or gaslighting. So they twist events to make you question your own memory or your perception of things or even your sanity. This was being used heavily during COVID, right? People were, these so-called experts were going on TV and they were just spewing garbage. Right? A lot of these media people just spewing garbage and, the disease stops with you or whatever. They had no idea. I mean, the product website, you just go straight to the product website and never said a stop transmission. But they had no problem doing that because they're narcissists. If you constantly feel the need to defend yourself, this also may be a red flag, right? Because they are manipulating through guilt or gaslighting. And it's almost like they have a way of making you to blame all the time. Right? It's just like a talent for turning it around. Number 4, they crave constant admiration. So validation is their oxygen. They demand praise, acknowledgement, or recognition, and they may punish you emotionally if you don't deliver. Even telling you things like, well, I did this and you didn't even say anything. They really need that recognition all the time. Whereas most people, the payoff in doing nice things for other people is feeling good about yourself for, being able to help them and feeling gratitude that you were able to help them. But these people, these narcissistic type personalities, they need the recognition. They need to be noticed for everything they do. Number 5, your boundaries are ignored and violated. So your no rarely holds. They may push past your limits, disrespect your time, or use subtle control tactics to keep you under their influence. So once you have set a boundary, this is, happened to me before in relationships, I'm not one that likes to share a lot of intimate details. That's just my personality. I just never, it embarrasses me. I'm like, but some women I've met over the years, they love to talk like that. And I don't. And so I usually let them oh, save those stories for your other friend. Tell me you're talking to the wrong person. I don't want to hear about it. What I mean? I'll just tell them that. And some people ignore it and they continue to push on with it. And that's where I have to draw the line. It's like, I'm not comfortable with that. I don't do that. That's just, I don't know. I just don't like it. So, but I've had people in the past that just think it's funny and they keep going with it. And finally, you just have to say, I don't think this is a good fit. You have to do that. You are completely within your rights to construct boundaries with people. There's nothing wrong with that. A narcissist pattern is consistent. It's self-centered. It's lack of empathy. It's manipulation, and it's total disregard for your boundaries. They have no problem making you feel uncomfortable. And often it comes in the form of their problems, so that they can then say, well, these are my problems. Like, your problems make me uncomfortable. I've told you they make me uncomfortable, but they press on, and then they'll accuse you of not being empathetic or not being kind or not understanding, right? And that's a way to manipulate you outside of your boundaries. So recognizing these early signs helps protect your peace and your energy, which of course is so important, because when we are constantly being thrown in turmoil by our relationships with narcissists, we're in fight or flight. We're on edge. And guess what? You cannot heal when you're in fight or flight. Protect your peace in your relationships. 5 ways to detect you're dealing with a narcissist. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back for hour 2 of Naturally Inspired Radio.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Nearly 40% of Americans struggle with a $400 emergency expense. An extra $300 a month can be the difference between stability and financial stress.
Are you feeling the pinch of rising expenses? Imagine what an extra $300, $500, or even $1,000 a month can do for you. Introducing a simple 3-step system designed to help you create a steady income without the overwhelm. Step 1, follow our easy-to-use plan. Step 2, take small, consistent actions. Step 3, stay motivated with weekly coaching designed to keep you on track and moving forward. Whether you're saving for a family vacation, paying down debt, or just looking for breathing room, this system is for you. You don't need special skills, just the desire to make change. Join a growing community of success stories today. Visit simpleincome.info or text 720-764-7448.
Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome back to Hour 2 of Naturally Inspired Radio. We've been talking about Bill Gates' visit to the White House. We've been talking about his upcoming plans for changing our doctor and, the ushering in the biotechnology era, the digital revolution. Bill Gates, of course, is pushing that with an AI doctor for everybody. And he talked about farmers and he talked about some other things as well. And so it's been an interesting hour already, but we've got a lot of news still to cover today. So I want to first, though, announce our winner, because did you know that every Friday we give away free product? And this Friday is no different. So today's winner is Kathy Spears. Kathy Spears, you have won. So reach out and to confirm your address and whatnot, because we would love to send you some things. So Kathy Spears, please, you are the winner of products today. If you have not yet entered to win, you can at Naturally Inspired. Go head on over there. You can enter to win over there at naturallyinspiredradio.com. And we give out free product all the time. In fact, let me pull this up because this one's a really good one. Let me see here. Somebody had won, Althea. Althea had won a couple of weeks back, and I just happened to follow up with her and say, hey, how'd the things go? Well, she tried the Cheer Up and Chill Out. These things are awesome. They're gummies, and they've got ashwagandha in them and L-theanine and some B vitamins, and boy, do they work. So here's what she had to say. These are her words, not mine. She said, I approach Cheer Up and Chill Out as I do with every product I try, with skepticism and cynicism. My first concern is trying any product that promotes stress reduction or mood boosting is to make sure there is no CBT in it. I was surprised that it contains L-theanine and as well as vitamin B's, with the main ingredient as ashwagandha, which is a high quality herbal product. Since I sleep very little, it was a good test to see if it affected my mood, inducing conditions to allow sleep to occur. Around the time most people go to bed, I took one gummy, just one, and went about my business. About an hour later, I had lost any expectations I had about feeling tired from it, but I did feel more settled. Shortly afterward, I closed my eyes, and when I opened them, it was morning. I felt I got an amazing night's sleep, no after effects, no brain fog, just ready to take on the day. I recommend this product to quiet down your inner stress and allow sleep to occur. If you use it to enhance sleep, take one about an hour before, giving it time to settle your system. Oh, and they are delicious too. Thank you, Althea, for that review. And everyone would agree that those little gummies work wonderful. The Cheer Up and Chill Out. So you can just head on over to the Naturally Inspired store. Check out the product line there and get yourself some chill out and relax. It's actually Cheer Up and Chill Out. Sorry. What else did I have to do? I think that was it. Okay. That's the housekeeping stuff. Let's get on to some news, because this top story here today is really, it was quite popular on X. So I wanted to cover it. And it is the Tylenol stuff. Okay. So, Robert Kennedy has alluded to the fact that there's going to be a big announcement around Tylenol and autism. And I've known this for a long time. And how do I know this stuff? Well, it's not, I'm not a genius. I didn't figure this all out on my own. Here's some of the people I have followed for years. Andrew Saul, he wrote the book Mega Vitamin Therapy, which I read years ago. He's also been featured in a lot of different documentaries I've watched. So Andrew Saul, wonderful. The Weston A. Price Foundation. They're so amazing. You can learn so much from them. Children's Health Defense, of course, another amazing organization. Susanna Humphreys, Brian Hooker, Gary Null. I love Gary Null. I have loved Gary Null forever. And he introduced me to a lot of things. And then, of course, Dr. Joel Wallach, too. So, I always want to make sure I give credit where credit is due, because we had some amazing pioneers in natural health. And thank God that they stuck with it as long as they did, because I don't think we'd be where we are today with MAHA without those types of pioneers. So I always like to make sure I give credit where credit is due. But anyway, I don't know who exactly I learned this from, but this is what I know about Tylenol. So liver detoxification and glutathione. Acetaminophen is primarily metabolized in our liver. And so a portion is converted into a toxic byproduct, which is called NAPQI. It's a toxic byproduct your body makes it when metabolizing acetaminophen. Normally, the body neutralizes this with glutathione, the liver's master antioxidant. But in high doses or with frequent use of acetaminophen, it can deplete your glutathione reserves. So a lot of times in functional medicine, especially practitioners, they note that low glutathione is linked to oxidative stress, impaired detox pathways. Okay, so think about that. Impaired detox pathways. What do you need to be operating well when you're being injected with something that has things like adjuvants in it? You need open detox pathways, right? So impaired detox pathways and neuroinflammation, which are sometimes implicated in autism spectrum discussions. When glutathione is depleted, oxidative stress increases in the brain and body. Some studies have found that children with autism have altered redox balance, higher oxidative stress, and lower antioxidant defenses. The concern is that early life exposure that further stress antioxidant systems may add to their vulnerability. Immune and inflammatory pathways. So acetaminophen does not reduce inflammation. It mainly acts on the central nervous system for pain and fever reduction. Unlike ibuprofen, it does not address peripheral inflammatory processes. So theory suggests that suppressing fever and immune signaling during key developmental stages could interfere with natural immune development. Timing with vaccines. So in the early 2000s, some researchers noted that acetaminophen was often recommended to reduce fever and or discomfort after childhood vaccinations. A controversial hypothesis emerged, and it is that acetaminophen depleted glutathione at the same time as a child was exposed to immune stressors. So that might increase vulnerability to neurodevelopmental issues. Mainstream versus functional, right? So mainstream medicine says acetaminophen is safe when used as directed. And of course, they say that vaccines do not cause autism. I think we're going to get some different information on that in September. I'll just say that. Okay, I'll leave it there. Functional alternative medicine. Excess suggests that excess acetaminophen used in infants and toddlers may increase oxidative stress and overwhelm immature detox pathways, possibly contributing to neurological risk. So it stresses the liver's detox system by depleting glutathione. And in functional medicine, we believe it's considered a risk factor for oxidative stress and impaired detoxification. Now, if you go back to my theory where I'm always talking about traditional Chinese medicine, you got like a highway going through here, right? And so all dis-ease comes from congestion in your highway systems. So if you can open up the congestion, you get things moving, your detox pathways will take care of it because you're always detoxing. That's your body's job. But when your detox pathways are compromised, you've got a problem. So that's some of the information. Then there's this other caveat, right? So this is Tylenol when it comes to folate and pregnancy. So what's being discussed right now in, with Bobby Kennedy's review, he's saying that there's a possible link between prenatal acetaminophen, Tylenol, use in low maternal folate status and increased autism risk. So it highlights folonic acid as a potential treatment for children with certain folate-related metabolic differences. So this is the research actually shows so far that there's a powerful 2024 sibling comparison study that followed millions of children, and the genetic factors were controlled, and they haven't been able to prove it because of that study. So there's a study out there right now that I'm assuming is going to have to be addressed, and it'll be interesting to find out if there was any manipulation going on there. Because early observational studies show that in utero Tylenol exposure may be associated with autism and ADD. Very, very interesting stuff. Of course, we've covered the folic acid thing here, and we'll talk more about it when we come back. Stay tuned, everybody. This is Naturally Inspired Radio, and I'm Tammy Cuthbert-Garcia.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. If you joined us yesterday, you may have heard from our friend Bob Greska. Greska C60. Of course, we're bombarded with toxins all the time. And C60 is a pure, powerful carbon molecule that helps remove those toxins and keeps your cells healthy. You can order at c60.com or call 720-600-6040. And don't forget to use promo code Tammy for a very special discount. Let's get back to the Tylenol discussion here, because I think it was actually Gary Brecka that has been talking a lot about folic acid and how the MTHFR gene and how many, and Christy Hall, Dr. Christy Hall has talked about it here on the show a number of times too, how the MTHFR gene, 50% of people, don't methylate their vitamins, right? So they're not able to break it down and put it to use. And so, folic acid is a synthetic form, and many people cannot process that. Does it mean that all vitamins that are synthetic are bad? No, it doesn't. And let me tell you, it would be wonderful to have all whole food only supplements. But the truth of the matter is that that's unsustainable for people to purchase. All whole food vitamins, oh my goodness, if you had to purchase them all in that form, you wouldn't be able to purchase them because they're so expensive. So synthetic form doesn't necessarily mean it's all bad. Okay, so that I want to say that up front. It makes them accessible to us a lot of times if it's synthetic. But we do have a large population that can't process unmethylated vitamins. And so that's what Gary Brecka has been talking about for quite some time. Now, it's interesting to bring it into the topic of autism, and particularly in pregnancy. So that's a really interesting part of it, because of course, what do they recommend, right? If it isn't folic acid in your prenatal vitamins. So that's crazy, right? I mean, holy man. So here's kind of what's being discussed. There's a link between prenatal acetaminophen use in low maternal folate status and increased autism risk. So they're talking about folinic acid as being a possible way to counteract those effects. So it's really interesting. I don't know. I don't know if I'm hoping that we're going to see all of this, in mid-September. Like I've told you multiple times, I don't know if we're going to hear that vaccines cause autism. I don't know if we're going to hear that. But this is a step in the right direction. This release of this story is definitely a step in the right connection. Or the right direction, rather. So we're going to keep our eyes on this. But hopefully now you have a bit of an understanding of how this happens. It really comes down to detox pathways. It comes down to glutathione, right, which is needed in order to detox. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting because we're already seeing the backlash. And gosh, it's really hard to watch when you know that people have been, they have people in their family that are vaccine injured. There's a lot going on there in their own family, and they're defending vaccines. That's that group I was telling you about. Like there's going to be, I think, 3 different groups. I said, right? The first group is going to be these wonderful parents and families that have been carrying the burden of, knowing that a vaccine injured their child and everyone doesn't believe them. There's that group. They're going to be so ecstatic and relieved. And I hope they get apologies like you wouldn't believe. I hope they do. Then you're going to have the second group that believed that it wasn't vaccines that caused their child autism. And those people are going to be shocked and probably pretty sad. And then there's going to be a third group who is in cognitive dissonance, who will refuse to believe that that's actually what it was. And those people are going to be angry. And they're going to be wanting to fight back. And I'm already seeing things like viral videos on TikTok where people are going and getting additional COVID boosters right now in protest of Bobby Kennedy. Can you imagine? Like, oh my gosh. So it's going to get a little crazy, no doubt, because this has been heavily a debated issue for a really long time now. And you can't tell me that any new parent on the planet in this country doesn't think twice before giving their kids those shots now. 20 years ago, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Even the most pro-vaccine people, unless you're like totally crazy, is losing a night's sleep before vaccination day. I guarantee you that's going on. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be real interesting. I wanted to share this clip with you because even the most, famous person with a lot of money or whatever, they're going through the same struggles that you and I are with our families. And it's only going to probably get a little more heated with these announcements that are coming up. But listen to Roseanne here. I found this kind of heartbreaking.
That her entire body was on fire and she couldn't find a way to stop it. She couldn't eat. She just felt she was burning to death. And she died weighing 79 pounds.
These symptoms started shortly after she got the shot?
Yes. And she got a booster too. I begged my family not to get it. I knew what it was, and I'm the only one that didn't get it because they're all Democrats. It just split families apart, and we stopped talking. The Democrats in my family quit talking to me because they thought I was, a super spreader, and my mom wouldn't let me come see her. It's been 6 years now because I didn't get vaccinated. She has not met my daughter-in-law or my grandchildren, these two, because she feels like we'll kill her with our horribly unvaccinated blood and breath. But I said, Mom,
I think we all have stories like that in our own lives. I know we certainly do. And many of you that I meet with on a one-on-one basis have similar stories as well. Grandparents never seeing their grandbabies, not allowed to see their grandbabies. And, I don't want this to be swept under the rug because, yes, the physical harm of COVID was atrocious, vile, horrific. All of the things, but also the way that it split up families is horrible as well. And I think a lot of that just gets pushed under the rug now that, COVID's over. But it shouldn't, and some of these announcements that are going to come out in September, and I think we're going to hear a lot more, hopefully in the coming 3 years. I saw a poll on Fox News, like they're not succeeding in bringing down Bobby Kennedy. 1,000 signatures yesterday to remove Bobby Kennedy from HHS. And it's not, the public doesn't care. So, all you scientists, the public doesn't care because there was a poll taken on Fox News, and it's overwhelmingly in favor of keeping Bobby in office, doing exactly what he's doing. So we just got to keep on that. And I'm not saying, that everything's going to work out perfectly. Like I do have some I've explained to her many times. There's like a division in the Maha movement. And one of the sects of the Maha movement is heavily involved in wearables. They're heavily involved in health surveillance, right? So it's nuanced. It's not this like all on the left and, this person's right or all on the right, this person's right or what. It's not that way. It's a nuanced type of thing. And don't forget, this is a business, right? And there are contractual obligations and there are legal ramifications. Like this is a very tangled web. And when in the process of negotiations, you tend to not want to tell people what you're going to do before you do it. You know? You tend to not want to do that. So keep that in mind. And also, don't get ahead of everything in prediction. Because the truth is, we can't predict the future. Stay in the present. And right now, the fight's heating up. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. This is Naturally Inspired Radio.
Are achy joints holding you back? Are you tired of stiffness slowing you down? It's time to restore with Joint Restore Gummies from Prosper CBD. These delicious strawberry-flavored gummies aren't just tasty, they're designed to soothe joint discomfort, promote flexibility, and help you move freely again. No more messy creams or bitter pills. Just one gummy a day to get you back to doing what you love. Best of all, no prescription needed.
My husband was headed towards knee surgery, and I was having hip pain. A friend recommended these. We tried them, and they worked great. We noticed a difference right away.
Right now, Prosper Wellness is offering a special deal, so don't wait. Go to jointrestore1.com. That's jointrestore1.com. Grab your Joint Restore gummies today. Be sure to use the promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, for 20% off your order.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Greska's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Greska C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Greska C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code TAMMY at checkout for a special discount.
If you caught the show last week, you probably heard me talking to Mark Squibb. He is the inventor of Live O2. Have you heard of oxygen training? I have not. I had not heard of oxygen training, but Mark introduced me to it. Live O2 delivers oxygen-rich performance right at home, helping you boost your energy, recover faster, and feel your best at any age. It's like supercharging your body from the inside out. And if you are on a journey with your health, whether it is cognitive stuff, injury specifically, you need to check out Mark's website. So go to liveO2.com. liveO2.com, liveO2.com, or you can even call him. That's the thing I love about working with local small business. You can actually get them on the phone, and you can talk to Mark at 970-658-2789, 970-658-2789. That's liveO2.com for oxygen training. It is a great modality on your optimum health journey. Okay, so let's go to our next story, because this one is just more proof. They've rolled out this new gal. I hadn't seen her before, but then again, I don't watch TV either. So maybe it's, I don't know, maybe she's been around for a while. But I don't think so. She worked in the Biden administration, and her name is Celine Gounder, I believe. She's the editor at large for KFF Health News. And in my opinion, Celine is grossly misinformed. But anyway, this is what they're doing. They're rolling people on to the, to the propaganda machine shows, and they're telling everybody what to say, just like the poor girl, really. The poor girl, because, I mean, I don't know who's listening to that, but you're just kind of making yourself look like a fool at this point. Anyway, here's the clip. Take a look and a listen.
CBS Mornings Plus, more than 5 years after the start of the COVID pandemic, one of the nation's leading disease experts is issuing a new and urgent warning. The next crisis could be worse. In his new book, The Big One, How We Must Prepare for Future Deadly Pandemics, Dr. Michael Osterholm imagines the impact of a virus 7 times as deadly as COVID-19. Dr. Osterholm joins us along with CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder, who served on President Biden's COVID-19 advisory board, is also editor at large for public health at KFF Health News. Glad to have you both here. You're coming back, and you were here in the 8 o'clock hour as well. And you're going to have some questions. You're going to help us ask better questions here. But first, the likelihood of a terrible pandemic, Dr. Osterholm. You say it's very likely. Really? Very?
Well, the pandemic clock is ticking. We know that there'll be additional pandemics, and some might be milder than COVID, some may be the same, but clearly the potential for some to be much worse than COVID is very real, and we have to prepare for that.
So you would think this is game 2 of the season. We just had one 5 minutes ago, does that not make us more ready, not less?
We are much less ready today, and for the following reason. One, we are completely ignoring the lessons that could have and should have been learned from the past pandemic. And that's what we kind of concentrate on in this book, is saying we needed a 9/11-like commission following the pandemic to say what went right, what went wrong, how could we make it better, what do we need to prevent a future pandemic from taking over the world. And
red flag alert. What do you think's happening here? Oh, of course, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Gosh, I mean, like I said, I don't predict the future. I'm not psychic. I don't know. But it's interesting to me that they'd be going on these mainstream shows right now and, warning you. Things are heating up. Let me tell you, things are really heating up because this is big money, you guys. And the medical system is a synergistic system that they have worked out, right? Just like we saw Elizabeth Warren yesterday when she was telling Bobby, you said it's essentially not available to anybody if their insurance won't pay for it, if it's not free, the system doesn't work. She's signaling. And he caught that too, which I caught right away as well. So they need the system to stay in play here. There are some fundamental things that keep the system going, and one of it is the insurance scam. Right? The insurance approves what's covered, what's not covered. The other thing is the fact, that pharmaceutical companies also fund the education system in medicine, and they fund the journals where all the information comes out, right? So it's like it synergistically works. And then we got hospital systems involved, which are owned by health insurance companies. And then health insurance companies also they're the biggest employer of physicians. So you see how it's just like, it's just like a big tangled mess, man. It's just a big tangled mess. And one part of the system feeds the next. They almost don't need you to pay for it. You just need to pay your premiums, right? And then they've got free money coming in all the time. And so they are hanging on to this system like you wouldn't believe. So would I put it past them that another plandemic takes place because they just don't know what else to do? They're going to lose their system. They no longer have capture of the CDC. They're trying to pivot over to these professional agencies as the gold standard to get to tell you what to do. But you're not buying it because they went too hard on the CDC guidelines propaganda. So you're not buying it. So like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? I don't know. They've been known to take some pretty drastic measures before. I want to play you this clip about the politicization of COVID. Take a listen.
19 was politicized?
Yeah, the whole process was politicized. Senator, I mean, we were lied to about everything. We were lied to about natural immunity. We were lied to about, we were told again and again the vaccines would prevent transmission, they prevent infection. It wasn't true. They knew it from the start it wasn't true because that's what the animal studies and the clinical trials showed. We were told that there was science behind cloth masks. The CDC allowed the teachers union to write the order closing our schools, which hurt working people all over the country, and then pretend it was science-based. All of these issues, and then I can show you, like, for example, Chairman Wyden was talking about me politicizing ASIP. During COVID, probably the most famous scientist on ASIP was Martin Kulldorff from Harvard, the great, world-renowned epidemiologist and vaccinologist. And he criticized the COVID booster mandates. They ejected him from COVID because he wasn't in the orthodoxy. The two biggest health officials at FDA during COVID, Dr. Gruber and Dr. Krause, criticized the Biden mandates, vaccine mandates. President Biden said in August, I would never take that vaccine, the Trump vaccine. And he came in, he mandated it, and then he fired the two top health officials at FDA who said, hey, this thing has not been properly tested. So the whole process was politicized, and even today.
So let me,
Unreal. All I'm going to say is never forget, right? Remember when Kamala Harris said, I ain't never taken that Trump vaccine, right? I would never take that. And then Biden said the same thing. I ain't never taken that. I would never take that. And then all of a sudden, both of them, gotta get your vaccine. I just don't know how everybody missed it. How so many people missed it. What was going on there? So yeah, could we get another plandemic? Possibly. But before we go to break, I want to make sure I leave lots of time for our health topic today because it's an important one. I want to get to this dairy study. So there's been key findings from a 2025 scoping review of dairy and health. A massive 2025 review analyzed 95 systemic reviews covering RCTs, cohort, case stories, randomized control trials, and cross-sectional studies published from 2014 to early 2024. And it summarized 281 associations between dairy consumption, so milk, cheese, yogurt, fermented dairy, and 29 different health outcomes. And here's what it found. 37.7% of associations showed dairy intake linked to reduced risk. 48% were neutral with no significant association. 10% were inconclusive, and 4.3% suggested the possible increased risk. So overall, the review concludes that dairy consumption is not associated with increased risk of non-communicable diseases or mortality, and may even moderately lower risk for several conditions. So some key health insights: cardiovascular health. Most dairy types show neutral or protective effects against heart disease, hypertension, and stroke. Dairy intake is associated with a lower risk of bladder, breast, colorectal, liver, oral, and ovarian cancer. Some studies found potential increased links, but in a small minority of people with lymphoma. Metabolic health and body, positive links. Literally everything they told you, you guys, was a lie. Stay tuned. I'll finish up with this and we'll get to our health topic today, which is gut inflammation. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
If you're looking for a good CBD gummy, we've got one. Prosper Wellness, probably the best one. I know the best one I've ever had because it combines boswellia in it as well. So if you experience pain or inflammation in your joints, you want pain relief in the form of CBD, here's how you get it. JointRestore1.com. JointRestore1.com. You can use promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, and receive a discount as well. Again, CBD boswellia gummies, they taste great and they work fantastic. JointRestore1.com. Couple things more about dairy. So metabolic health and body composition. There are positive links include lower risk of type 2 diabetes, better body composition, and improved bone health. Of course, yogurt and fermented dairy stand out with the most consistently beneficial findings across cardiovascular, metabolic, and cancer outcomes. Notably, no studies linked yogurt to increased risk of any adverse outcomes. Now, watch your yogurt, though. You know, a lot of these yogurts that are, Go-Gurts. I mean, if your yogurt doesn't need to be refrigerated, that's a problem, right? I mean, you really got to watch the sugar in a lot of yogurt products. So here's the thing. Get yourself some good, fat of 2% or beyond of Greek yogurt, and add your own things into it. You know, you can do a little bit of maple syrup, good quality maple syrup, or good quality local honey, local to you, is wonderful because that helps with gut microbiome as well. And it even helps with allergies and all kinds of medicinal benefits. And then add your own like cocoa powder into it, or dark cherries, or walnuts, or pumpkin seeds with salt on them, or whatever. Like, you can make it taste great without compromising your health. Okay. So don't get pulled into that yogurt thing. Like, oh, it's yogurt, it's healthy. Some of them have like 14 grams of sugar in like a quarter cup. That's too much. Too much. Okay. So just watch that. Here's some supporting stats from cardiovascular and bone meta-analysis. A 2025 meta-analysis, 33 studies found dairy modestly reduced cardiovascular risk. And milk did too. And yogurt had substantially more. Hypertension and stroke, particularly lower risk with total and fat dairy. Dairy with fat, rather. Bone health, dairy, especially milk, yogurt, and cheese, contribute to higher bone mineral density and may help prevent fractures as well. So all good news. Again, the fat in your dairy is helping you with your satiety response, right? We're coming out of this massive diet culture that's been going on for decades, and we need to release our fear of fat. You won't overeat on full fat dairy. It's hard. You know, the stuff is rich. You don't need that much. So keep that in mind. It's just, like I said, it's almost like everything they told us was a lie. Let's go on to our health topic for today, which is 7 strategies to eliminate gut inflammation. So rebuild the gut lining. We talk a lot about repopulating your gut here, right? With a prebiotic, probiotic. Our favorite one, of course, is Good Brew. It's awesome. We love it. But we also have to heal the gut. And so, you know, it's one thing to be able to repopulate it. That's fantastic. But if you're not getting results with just repopulating your gut, it could be that you haven't taken the measures through your diet to reduce inflammation. And this is important. So rebuilding the gut, it's like a heal and seal type of approach that you really need. Heal, seal, and repopulate, I guess, is the 3 steps. So collagen is wonderful to rebuild the gut lining. But pairing collagen with vitamin C supports the collagen synthesis, strengthening the mucosal barrier that protects against inflammatory triggers. So you want to make sure that you are getting some vitamin C as well. So you pair it with, you know, your multivitamin, or, you know, you pair it with our collagen because ours is wonderful, and it takes that into account. So support your microbiome with probiotics and fermented foods. So a diverse microbiome calms immune reactivity in the gut, rather, includes high quality probiotics, right? Like Good Brew. Also with fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir to help rebalance the gut bacteria and reduce inflammation. You want to make sure that you're also eating high quality beef. Pumpkin Creek Ranch, right? If you're not hooked up with Pumpkin Creek Ranch yet, pumpkincreekranchco.com. You can use promo code Tammy from buying there. They ship all over the place. Regenerative Farm. They're producing good quality beef. It's got some fat in it. This is all going to help seal your gut, which is, you know, very, very important. Also, removing the irritants and trigger immune responses. Get the crappy cleaning products out of your house. Good Lord, it's so easy to do. You can, you know, if I get it. The thing, you know, it's hard to give up really smelly laundry soaps and like dryer sheets and stuff like that because they make your clothes smell so great, but they're ruining your health, including your gut health, and causing inflammation. So switch over to some, you know, llama balls, or alpaca balls, whatever they call. They're those laundry balls. Put a few essential oil drops on that and throw that in with your in your dryer, and you got something that smells great, but it doesn't disrupt Your gut biome doesn't, it's not an endocrine disruptor. It's a no-brainer to switch over to some of these toxic soaps. Of course, we have a wonderful line of stuff at Naturally Inspired store. So common culprits, the seed oils, the hateful eight, right? You got to get those out. Refined sugars, artificial sweeteners. A lot of people like indulge in the diet Cokes and stuff like that. It's ruining your gut microbiome. And it's causing a lot of inflammation. Ultra-processed foods, of course, they all inflame the gut lining, and that they fuel dysbiosis in your gut. So elimination and substitution with whole nutrient-dense foods, of course, allows the gut to heal. Reduce hidden food sensitivities. So, watch some of these things. Like, a lot of people think they're allergic to dairy or that they have a dairy problem. And let me tell you, you shouldn't have a dairy problem. You shouldn't. Now, do I think you should be eating dairy at every meal, like heavy dairy? No, it should be used sparingly, in small doses. You can overdo anything, but really you should be able to tolerate dairy. And if you can't, it could be a sign that you've got something going on in your gut. And so it's like not normal for everybody to be lactose intolerant. It's not normal. It's going to be quality of dairy too. Like a lot of people who thought they were dairy intolerant switched to raw milk. No problem. That's telling you something. You know what I mean? So don't give up on it, but do start to focus on healing and reducing inflammation in your gut. Fatty acids, huge. Omega-3s, right? EPA and DHA from fish oil lower your pro-inflammatory signaling, your cytokines, and they help restore balance in the gut's immune environment and promote that mucosal healing, calming stress response. I know a lot of people, they don't want to acknowledge stress. I think it's just America in general. Like, we're tough, and it's like, yeah, stress isn't getting me. The body keeps score. And stress tends to, turn up slowly, incrementally, a little bit, to the point where you don't even recognize it until something goes wrong in the body. So everybody has stress. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you normal. Okay? So just make sure you're doing something every day to unplug. Like I say, you don't have to do this big thing. It can simply be just stopping inputs. Right? Stopping the inundated information, working on some of these relationships. If you have narcissistic people in your life that cause that kind of stress, work on edging out of it, and also advocating for yourself in it. Because that right there, just advocating for yourself instead of just sitting back and feeling, unempowered about it, start advocating for yourself in these situations. That can switch the dynamic of stress as well. Chronic stress elevates cortisol and adrenaline, which impair digestion, slows motility, and increases gut permeability. Daily practices like walking, connecting to nature, the deep breathing, prayer, of course, and even meditation. I'm not a huge fan of meditation because I tried it in the past and it was like, don't think about anything. Well, that's going to make me think about everything. So, but transcendental meditation has been a wonderful tool for me. It's no pressure meditation. I liken it to like diving in under the water. Everything kind of goes silent, right? And you just feel like you're in this space away from everybody else. And then when you come out, for some reason, you feel very refreshed. I'll talk more about that next week. Transcendental meditation. Support your detox pathways. If you need more help with this, get yourself some collagen. Text me, 720-303-8868. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you Monday.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio. Save it to your favorites and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, Dive into long-form podcast conversations and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. NaturallyInspiredRadio.com.
Nearly 40% of Americans struggle with a $400 emergency expense. An extra $300 a month can be the difference between stability and financial stress.
Are you feeling the pinch of rising expenses? Imagine what an extra $300, $500, or even $1,000 a month can do for you. Introducing a simple 3-step system designed to help you create a steady income without the overwhelm. Step 1, follow our easy-to-use plan. Step 2, take small, consistent actions. Step 3, stay motivated with weekly coaching designed to keep you on track and moving forward. Whether you're saving for a family vacation, paying down debt, or just looking for breathing room, this system is for you. You don't need special skills, just the desire to make change. Join a growing community of success stories today. Visit simpleincome.info or text 720-764-7448.